Pie in the Sky Media.
3, 2, 1, and we're live. Hello, Criminal Mischief Nation. Welcome back to another bonus episode of Criminal Mischief with Carolyn and Brandon. I am Brandon of that dynamic duo, along with the great Carolyn Ossorio. Carolyn, thank you for joining us again. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so good.
Do you have a
How
good
are
week?
you?
I'm good. Do you have a good week? You get ready for Thanksgiving? Did you pick up your turkey from the butcher yet?
No, that's the beautiful thing about it. I'm not beating other patrons to get my turkey at the end with shopping carts. I just go and stroll in on Wednesday.
Yeah. Do you get
And
to
they've
meet,
got
do you get to meet your turkey while it's alive?
No, it's okay. It's not
Fair
one of those
question.
It's not
question.
like a farm where I'm like, oh yeah, that one right there. Let me look it in the eye. Before.
That big
No.
fat fucker. Yeah.
Shit.
Okay. Cool.
Well, no, yeah, no, it's not like it's fresh. It's just that they're getting it from a spot, and then I just have number 186 is my number, and I go in there and I pick it up on Wednesday, and I'm like, hey.
Well, I just realized I'm going to be alone for Thanksgiving. Maybe for the first time in my entire life. My wife and my kids are going to my nephew's bar mitzvah in Miami. I can't go because I'm for 5 days. I can't be gone that long. I'm going to stay home and take care of the animals. And my brother and his family are somewhere, I forget where. And and my in-laws that live across the street, it's their kid, so they're obviously going to be in Miami with their grandmother for the bar mitzvah, and my mom's in Jersey, and so I'm actually looking forward to it.
Oh, I know. I was like, I see the glee in your like, but wait a second, because you got your dad. You can go visit Pops.
I'm sure he's somewhere. He's probably back in New Hampshire with his sisters. I'm gonna eat rice-a-roni and hot dogs and like watch football and just
Yeah.
maybe steakums. Oh, I'm gonna cook
Oh
some
my
steakums.
gosh.
Eat like Italian ice. I don't know all this
Have
shit
some licorice.
oh, licorice, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually looking forward to it. I'll get a lot of work done.
Yeah, but there
miss
is,
them.
I think at some point it'll settle in of like, I'm
That I
alone.
love it like this, and I'll be one of those people that disappear because it's not illegal to walk away from your life. That's my biggest. What I tell people when they say you've done hundreds and hundreds of episodes of true crime, like what's your takeaway? I'm like, my
Hmm.
takeaway is never underestimate how evil people can be. That there is such a thing as a perfect crime because people get away with murder, and that it's not illegal to walk away from your life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, wait a second. You're not going to be by yourself. You're going to have Mac.
I'll have the bird, I'll have the cats, I'll have the outdoor cat Shorty. I'll try and make some inroads with Shorty while there's no chaos happening in the house,
Mm-hmm.
and the squirrels.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, have fun with that.
yeah.
Um, I had such a fun experience. I took my boys. I've always wanted to take them to a barber, but I never have because we always go to like, you know, a style,
Stylist.
once you go to a stylist, you're going forever, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And they're getting older, so they want some style. And I was like, there's a place that I'd been eyeing, and so we go there, and it was just so much fun because, like, obviously I'm a proud mom, and my boys are all in their chairs, and I'm sitting right
Mm.
here, and each one is like has their own distinctive personality. Like
Yeah.
my oldest one, he's like giving me this look, like, "Mom, is this okay?" Because he can't see, and I'm like giving him eye contact, like, "Yes, it's good, right?" And then the other one's just looking at me, and he's like pensively like, okay, mom knows that this is going to be great. And, I mean, totally trusting. And they're like whacking off his hair. And then the other one knows exactly what he wants. Like I didn't even talk or say anything about the 12-year-old,
Yeah.
didn't even say anything about what he might want or whatever. Anyway, it was just like a really one of those weird moments where it's kind of poignant that, you know what I mean? Like it's a moment.
Yep.
And it was
Yep.
just really fun.
There was
So,
a in the small town where I grew up, there was either like a salon called
mhm.
Styles in Motion, right? That all
With a
like
Z.
No, it was with an S. They weren't that cool. Uh, that like that all the like the ladies went to, and then there was a
Hmm.
butcher shop. A butcher shop. Sorry, you'll understand why in a second. There was a barber shop. The guy's name was Bill, and we called him
Mm.
Bill the Butcher.
Go because of his level of his haircuts. He
Yeah,
was a buzz.
yeah. No, it was weird. I remember the first time I went, and I'm sitting in the chair, and I was like 6 or 7 years old, and I had my eyebrows raised the whole time because I was interested and I was watching him, right? And my mom said, "Yeah, just a little bit above the eyebrows," and I was doing this, and it wound up
Mm.
being so short when my
Oh my
eyebrows came down.
gosh.
I looked
Yeah.
like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber.
Oh my
That
gosh,
with
beautiful.
like half-inch bangs. It was
Mm.
terrible. And then but the guy was an institution in the town. Every
Hmm.
so many generations of people went to
Mm.
this one guy in his little brick house with a basement barber shop,
Yeah.
and there was one chair, and he was one dude, and that was it.
Yeah.
And as he got older, he was still cutting hair, and then he had a stroke, and people still went to him because they felt bad, and their hair was so fucked up when they left, and he knew it, and he felt bad, and he knew everyone was going because you got to go to this guy. Uh,
You know
so
what? That's the loyalty of a stylist. Like you
yeah,
go even when they mess up your hair,
despite
you still you still
so
sign up for it.
what wound up happening was that Styles in Motion had to add another chair or two so they could fix what stroke-ridden Bill the Butcher was doing to the local haircuts. Yeah,
Aw.
I know.
That's
Well,
that's yeah.
Butcher
That's a
Bill, man.
story.
Yep, that's a story. But
That's a
so
story.
so anyway, all right, well, let's get to what we're doing.
Yeah.
So The Vanishing, Redux, the Lindsey Baum story. So I remember this. I remember, hating it
Yeah.
because of the subject matter, and that
Hmm.
I hated it. But so let's just
Hmm.
excuse me, we'll revisit the facts of it real quick, and then I want to spend more time about why you're choosing to revisit it now and what you're hoping to accomplish and where people can help. So, um, uh, June 2009,
Hmm.
she's 10 years old,
Yep.
and she's walking home from a friend's house. She's in McCleary, Washington, and now, according to reports, it was a it was a 10-minute walk.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's far. I'm just saying. And I remember when I listened to this the first time, I did have some soft kind of questioning about parents allowing a 10-year-old to walk that far by themselves. Because if
Okay,
it's
you cut out for a second, but I think I got the gist of what you were saying. That's part of this case too, where it was a a bunch of weird things happened that normally wouldn't have happened. And her and Lindsay and a bunch of her friends went back to see if her one of her best friends could have another sleepover. So she was with a bunch of people. So she wasn't by herself and it was during the summertime, so it's dusk. It's not dark.
Mhm.
And this is a really safe, quote unquote safe. It was like kids running around, like when
So
we were
she
kids.
was, I'm sorry to interrupt you. So you're saying that she was with a group of kids when she was abducted?
No, she was with a group of kids when she left her house and when she asked her mom, "Okay, can we go see if Michaela can have a sleepover and go get some of her stuff?" And the mom said, "Yes." And so then her little brother was with her. And then on the way, she got in a fight with her little brother, who then, like, something happened to his tire on his bike. And he's like, "Well, I'm just going
Right,
home." So
right.
that was like the first thing. So then she gets to Michaela's house, and Michaela's mom's like, "No, you can't have a sleepover." You know how that goes.
Yep.
So all of a sudden, she's walking home by herself. And it's still like 9-ish. So you know, it's not dark out,
It's
but it's
almost full dark. Yeah, almost.
so so she's walking home.
Yep.
And so the mom is calling thinking, "Okay, where are you? Pick up, pick up, pick up." And here's the thing, her mom's car earlier they had broken the key in the trunk, so she
Right.
didn't have access to it. That was another thing. The little brother came back home, so she didn't want to leave him alone. And she's thinking she's going to be back at any moment. And she was thinking she's not answering my calls because she's not listening because she's getting to that. tween kind of pushback age is what she's thinking, right?
How old were
And
your
then
kids?
she,
How old were your kids when they got cell phones?
um, that's a hard conversation to have because because I have so many, as you
Yeah,
said, I have
yeah.
about
You have
25.
17 kids.
Um,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, I was getting ahead of you on that one. My first daughter, we got her a phone earlier, like when she first was in sixth grade, which is middle school,
Yeah, older
because
older than 10. Yeah.
she was incredibly, she's the type of kid who, like, I was never late once picking her up from elementary school or middle school because she was a worrier. If I
Oh,
was not there on time,
yeah.
like she would next level, and I was always there on time, so it was more for her and it was like when the flip phone.
Yep.
So it was actually around this time period because Sophie was born in 2000. So anyway, or 2011 is when she got the phone. But then my husband and I always have these decisions, like any big decision we need to make together.
Yeah.
We don't make them separately, big decisions. And our second, he got her a cell phone without consulting me, and I was just, you can imagine how I was. And she was the one that ended up getting bullied through this cell phone. So it
Mm.
really gave us, through social media, and
A
it was just like
pause. Yeah.
awful. It was terrible. And so then our next son, he didn't get one until he was 16. Like
Oh,
he
wow.
was going on the Washington D.C. trip, and we're like, okay, we're getting him because you know how you can
Yeah.
do that in middle school. So anyway, it's been a
Okay.
journey. Each one has been separate, but depending on what it is, but we've really scaled back, like giving them all the options to social media and all that because
Yeah,
you just don't want them getting bullied or getting, some predator. It's not that we don't trust them, and it's a lot to have.
it is.
It's a lot of power,
My kids have
you
such
know?
restricted access to social media, and that's what I'm proudest of.
Yeah, you should be.
I am. I really
Absolutely.
am. Such a
You
sewer.
should be.
A fucking sewer. But that was the impetus for the mother to call the cops when she found the phone, right?
Well, that and when she finally got through to Michaela's mom, they weren't answering the phone.
Yeah.
So she's down the street and it's nighttime now.
Yeah.
And she's like, this is not, and she didn't take her dog.
Hmm.
Lindsay loved her dog, took
Yep.
her dog everywhere. And she, for whatever reason, didn't take her dog that night. So it's like all of these things. And then she called the police and then they came and it was just like,
And
but
then it's a slow moving nightmare as each second passes and your kid isn't home. You just descend into this private hell. Um, there were tons of persons of interest, no arrests ever,
hmm
um,
hmm
massive
hmm
investigative efforts. There were search warrants. Um, but again, no charges ever until, and then in 20, what was it, 17? Yeah, 2017, uh, hunters found the remains
Yeah.
in like a super remote part of like East Washington.
Eastern Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And through DNA and like a portion of the skull and stuff. I mean, just,
Well, that's all they found was a tiny portion of skull. Like they didn't even find all of her remains, and that's something that Melissa, Lindsay's mom, is like, yes, they found her, but it's like, what happened to the rest of her?
yeah.
What it
Yeah.
how did she get there? I mean, this
Yeah.
is so far away from McCleary,
Yeah. So there was
like,
some kind of transport, but then with regard to the rest of her, there's animals and stuff like you never know.
yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure. But
Yeah.
like, when was she taken there?
Right, exactly.
What's the timeline? How did it happen? Like, was she alive for a long time and then
Right.
they killed? I mean, she just and anyway, we'll get into that in a little bit. I just want
Yeah.
to,
But and
yeah.
so there's been a $40,000 reward. It's still
Hmm.
open
Yeah.
and but nothing.
Hmm.
Nothing at all.
No.
Like not one person of interest that panned out
Mm-mm.
even barely for like a second interview, like nothing.
Mm-mm.
So talk to me about what you're doing now and what you're considering doing now and
Hmm.
what people can do to help.
Well, so this case has not really ever left my mind. Like that interview that I did with Melissa, I think it was
Yeah.
probably like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like these cases they really stick with you. And I feel like with the mom, it really stuck with me because, my mom was a single mom
Hmm.
and she was dismissed. And like just the whole interview of her never giving up and giving them shit back and like, you will not forget my daughter. You will not forget. I
Yep.
don't care. And this whole drama with the posters. And it's just like, why are they treating her like this? It just doesn't make sense, you know? It's like, the Bizarro world from our childhood of like Superman and then Bizarro world. And it's like why this mom is being like looked upon as like the villain when she just wants to know what happened to her daughter,
Well,
you
what
know?
was the
So,
case that we just covered a couple, 3 weeks ago, 2, 3 weeks ago?
yeah.
Um, that terrible, terrible story. They're all terrible, but that terrible story about the best friend that was banging his friend's wife, and so he killed him in the lake,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they tell the mother, "You better
Yeah.
drop this. You better drop this." And
No,
she's like, "What the fuck? Why am I gonna drop it? I want to know what happened to my kid."
I
You know?
know. I
Yeah, and
know.
they
And but
vilified the
again,
mom.
to your point, bravo to you, is that the gaslighting that happens to women like this. I'm not saying it doesn't happen to men, but there's this particular brand of like, she's crazy, she's angry, she's
Hysterical.
right, like
Yeah.
all those
All
things.
those accurate descriptions of women. I'm sorry, no, that's not what I meant.
Oh my gosh,
I meant all
you just want to be hated. I love it. It's so
low
funny.
hanging fruit. I'm sorry. But no,
I
what's
know.
interesting, I don't spend any time alone with friends who know my wife since I listened to that episode, since because I think that everyone's out to kill me now.
Oh, stop. You're
Everyone. Yeah.
so over the top.
Yep.
No, that is
Yep.
not true.
Not true.
Okay. Anyway, I feel the same thing about Melissa
Yeah.
and just kind of the it's never been solved. And I think that we've learned in this, with Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, the tip that we're going to be talking about in our event that's coming up December
Yeah.
8th, if you're going to be in Vancouver, nobody had talked to this witness 50 plus years.
I,
And
I, I, I don't even know how to explain that. A material witness who saw, okay. Anyway, yes.
no, but the
So,
power of it was like it reminded me of this case. It reminded me of how even though, the thing about that is that, they're gonna use the coordinates to try to find Jamie in the
yes.
wilderness of Dole Valley. But the sister knows now, Star, because of this witness, yeah, based on his descriptions after 50 plus years, they believe that was Jamie. It's confirmation, something she's never had.
Never had. I know.
Never had.
And it just goes, I mean, because you hear from cops all the time when there's specifically what you hear is you might not know that you know something,
Hmm.
right? So we're putting this plea out to the community. Just stop for a second and just
Hmm.
think about it. Were you ever in this area? Were you ever, anything stick out? Because you might not realize that you witnessed or you saw or you heard something material to the investigation. So just
Hmm.
go through your files again. Is that is that what you're looking for?
Well, I think it's that, but then it's also like from our friend Mac, friend of the show, and she's like, "Honey, I love me an ex-wife. I love me." Like
That's pretty
maybe
funny.
there's somebody that thought, my husband's weird. I think he could have done something. I don't feel safe to come forward. I don't even know, but maybe they're divorced now. Maybe
Right.
he's dead.
Yep.
Maybe, there was something always bothering her in the back of her mind. And now so much time has gone by. Maybe I'm going to come forward,
Or
you
maybe
know?
someone just got out of prison and
Yeah.
they had a cellmate that liked to talk, the whole Shawshank Redemption scenario. You never know. Okay.
Hmm.
It could happen. Um,
Hmm.
but also it could just be someone who's sitting there and listening and going, oh, wait a second, McCleary, hold on. I
Hmm.
remember seeing a group of kids. walking, whatever, and
Hmm.
just it can't hurt.
Hmm.
And I can understand why you'd be inspired by this, what has shaken loose in the Stolen Voices of Dole Valley investigation with this new witness, um, because that could change the whole trajectory of the case,
Hmm.
and provide some incredibly healing information to surviving family.
And the thing too is that, like, I think I've always felt this very deeply about, telling this what people go through, like, and to the point where I've been criticized, where it's like you're giving all these details. It's not to be salacious. It's like, to me, it's like this is what this person endured and went through in the shadows, or it's like, let's let people know what they went through, at the hands of whatever, whether it was Gary Ridgway, whether, whatever. And I think that the story here, there's a guy in this story who was believed to have been they don't call him suspects, but this dude was a suspect. They're
Right.
calling him person of interest. And he was like put in jail. I don't know if it was for something else. And he got his face kicked in because they wanted blood. They wanted someone to pay for this. And and I just interviewed Melissa again today, and
Mm.
she was like, I thought for a long time that this guy did it, and now I don't think that he did. And, you know, it's like she's not responsible for someone taking vigilante justice in their own hands and doing that. But like
Right.
there have been so many people that have been hurt because they've been persons of interest, and how it can, wreck their lives if they get under this specter of suspicion. And then and you still have to investigate. You can't
Of
control
course.
human nature. So I'm not suggesting that people not be investigated because we're worried about them, getting beaten to a pulp. But it's like, it just, these types of cases, and this case in particular in this small town community, it really just had such a huge impact, and it still is. We drove around the town today, and there's these posters of Lindsey all throughout the town, which has caused other townspeople to get upset at the mom. Like, we don't want our town to be known as a murder town, of a little girl. We want that to be in the past. And Melissa's like, until I find out what happened to my daughter, it will never be in the past. So there's also.
I'm going to use a triggering word for you. I mean, what's the likelihood that it was just some drifter, right? Like going through town, and it's this sickening crime of opportunity where, like, the terrible stars aligned, and little girl gets in a fight with her brother, goes off on her own just as this fucking psycho is driving through, and is like, whoa, look at this opportunity that I have.
And I'll say exactly what I said before. It's not the drifter. It's someone in the drifter always gets the blame. It's someone in the town, I think. I mean,
You
I don't
do.
have any proof, no proof whatsoever.
Yeah.
I believe that because we drove through the neighborhood today,
Yeah.
and there's no reason anyone would be in that neighborhood at that time of night, just drifting along, or like, I mean, it's a suburban neighborhood. You're there to go home or to drop someone off, you know? It's not like a, pack highway. It's not
Wow.
like a, I
Wow.
think that it was a crime of opportunity, and the person either knew Lindsay and was like, "Hey," or it was just someone that happened to be in the neighborhood and they saw an opportunity. Because think about it too. It's like they they didn't tell anyone. What if they're like a Gary Ridgway where he didn't tell a soul?
Those are the people that get away with and commit the perfect crime. People are able to keep their fucking mouth shut.
I know. And this person has been able to keep their mouth, or seemingly has,
Yeah.
unless there's a witness who basically has, like, because we don't see that often where another person keeps their mouth shut,
Right.
you know? So I don't know. I'm gonna see where this goes, but
Who
the
said that?
access.
Who
What?
said it? I don't even know who quoted it. I'm going to look it up. That two people can keep a secret if one of them are dead. That's a
Yeah.
very I don't
I
know.
don't know who, I think
It's either
it's,
like Ben Franklin or Sun Tzu or
yeah, somebody.
I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
holds. It's one of
Yeah,
these ones that,
it tracks. It really is true. It's really, really
yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that, we'll see where it goes, but I had an incredible day today. I,
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
let's ask. Let's put the ask out there. Like we have some social media handles now. We have the EVO email. I mean, people, you might not know that you know something.
Hmm.
So listen to the episode, ask your friends, and really kind of meditate on it a little bit. And did you live there? Were you back there at that time? Do you know anybody who was? And who knows? Who knows? There are tip lines everywhere. Listen to the episode. We give our social handles, and there's more.
Yeah, and normally the Grays Harbor is still accepting tips, and I'm not suggesting that you should not submit tips there. I'm saying like if there's people who have a story to tell about Lindsey, about even if it's a positive story, like you want to talk about the family and what you've experienced seeing this unfold, like we want to hear from you.
Yep.
Because for me, it's not just a story about like, let's solve this, and that's the only reason why I want to take on this case. Like I just think that this case represents a lot of humanity in it, where there's just a lot of different sides to things. And so info@evocreative.com. We
Yep.
have a criminal mischief with Carolyn and Brandon Facebook page. We have a CM with Carolyn and Brandon Instagram.
Yep.
So reach out to us, and we'd love to hear from you.
Great.
You can reach out to us if you just want to say hi.
Yeah. Anyway, reach out anyway. Tell me
Yeah.
if you like my new haircut. I think that's an obvious yes, but leave it up to the viewers.
He won't care either way. Just so you know.
That's 100% true. But listen, thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoy the redux of The Vanishing, and to the extent that you can enjoy a podcast about murder of a 10-year-old, but for the true crime people, you know what I'm talking about. And don't be shy. If you see something, let us know, or call a tip line. Or like Carolyn said, just reach out and say hey. And if you have any ideas for shows that you'd like Carolyn to cover, we love hearing from everybody. And until next time, Carolyn, anything you'd like to add?
Nope. We'll see you next time.
Great, everybody. Stay safe out there.
Bye.
From Pie in the Sky Media, Criminal Mischief is an EVO production, recorded live in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. We're produced by Brandon Morgan and myself, music by Soundstripe. For EVO Creative, I'm Carolyn Ossorio, your writer and host.